What a day it's turned out to be. Just when everyone was thinking that the state of Haryana was the one which was a completely done and dusted deal, it's turned out to be yet another occasion which will go down as a Waterloo moment for the great exit pollsters of our country. Well, Sudeep and I have been traveling in Haryana, and truth be told, in all the conversations, Sudeep, that we'd had, we did get this sense that it was not the one-way tsunami that was being projected by the likes of Yogendra Yadav. Now that the numbers are in, just on the basis of what election commission data is reporting, and we'll only go by election commission, not by what various exit pollsters, opinion pollsters are telling us. What is the story of the Jat dominated seats, and what is the story of the Dalit dominated seats in Haryana?
So let's first look at the Dalit dominated, the reserved seats in Haryana. When we were on the ground, the Jats were very clear. The Jats were very clear. They said Hooda is our candidate and Hooda is what we're going to vote for. But the lower caste in the villages, when you go to the lower caste areas, the so-called lower caste, they were not so sure about Hooda as CM or a Jat as CM for the simple reason that they benefited a lot. According to them, they said that there is you didn't need to pay for jobs. Our caste got jobs in the Khattar government, and also there's a fear of Jats dominating again. Especially when there's an aspirational thing. But if you would go by sheer numbers, there are 17 reserved constituencies in the assembly in Haryana. As of now, at this time, out of the 19, the split is even.
No,
9,
17
not out of
seats.
17.
Yes.
The split is even. 9 and 8. 9 for the Congress, 8 for the BJP.
So that's a very telling statistic, because if the number of seats which are reserved constituencies, if they are being split between the Congress and the BJP, then the entire narrative which has been set up by Rahul Gandhi, where he's been going around with the book of constitution, where on every occasion he's tried to make this point that jiski jitni sankhya bhari utni uski hissedari, that narrative may have worked in UP as far as the reserved segments were concerned, but that narrative is not working in Haryana.
So very interesting actually. It did work in UP, and more importantly, in the 2024 general election, it worked for the Congress because it came from 0 to 5, out of the 10 seats, and that I think would have also fueled their desire to go further with this caste census and this narrative of jiski jitni sankhya
bhari utni uski hissedari.
So all of that I think was also fueled by 2024 general election. But it was quite clear when we went. I'm not claiming that we figured out that the BJP is coming back the way it did, but it was clear on the ground that the lower caste was not with the Congress as was thought by both the Congress and analysts like us.
So, because it's important, viewers would be wondering that what is it that suddenly has happened? Why is it that every pollster worth his salt was talking about a big wave, big tsunami, and why is it that things have turned out to be very, very different? Well, point number one, and this is the reporting insight. The reality is that Haryana election was also fought in big numbers by the RSS cadres. There was a lot of groundwork which has gone on. We've all seen the differences between the BJP and the RSS, specifically in the context of Lok Sabha elections, the kind of statements which have been made by the RSS chief subsequently. In Haryana, that was also a factor. So Jats, who were the sort of the fulcrum around whom the Congress was building its entire campaign, did it lead to a scenario where the non-Jat communities, the Nais, the Dhobis, the Punjabis, which were being assiduously wooed by the BJP precisely for the reasons that you're pointing out, if they were getting political representation, if they were getting social representation, those communities have consolidated around the BJP, and a section of the Jats has moved away from the Congress. Is that the way to look at it?
No, I don't think the Jats have moved away from the Congress. It's easy for us to say that the Jats are the biggest community because of their visibility, political visibility, social visibility. Actually, they are not. In Haryana, the OBCs are the largest community. The Jats come after that, and then the Dalits. Now the thing is that the BJP over the last 10 years, it's been in power only for 10 years. It's never been in power in Haryana earlier. Has assiduously built this non-Jat base for itself. and exactly the caste they were talking about, the Dhobis, the Nais, the Malis, all of them said to us, our people have got jobs. And in a narrative where joblessness was dominating, when you hear that these people's castes got jobs, na kharcha, na parcha, no recommendation, no bribes, and they got jobs. That is where the success of the BJP evidently lies.
But I was looking at the Election Commission data again, and if you look at the map of Haryana today, the map of Haryana in those areas which would, let's say, qualify as Jat dominated, is evenly split today between the BJP and the Congress party. So all this Hooda factor and Hooda being the biggest Jat leader, obviously that is also being challenged by this election.
Yes, it is to some extent. And if you see the vote share, the vote share split is about 1% between the two parties. A 1% vote share between the two parties means, one, it's very difficult to figure out what will eventually happen. And also the fact that the BJP's core vote is still with it. It hasn't deserted it at all.
I think that's the critical part. That after two successive terms, facing a mammoth, record-breaking third consecutive term in Haryana, the BJP has managed to hold on to its vote base. Not only hold on to its vote base, it's actually managed to increase its vote base. That, to my mind, is the biggest impact of these elections. Well, we'll have more insights right through the day as more numbers and more statistics come into play. But for the moment, just keep these three things in mind. Where did this Haryana election change? Rahul Gandhi's appeal to the Dalit community not working in Haryana, while it was working in UP. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party's desire of propping up an entire campaign only and only around the Jat face, around jiski jitni sankhya bhari utni uski hissedari, not working. And lastly, maybe Sudeep, was it a mistake for the Congress party not to go in for an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party? They've got only 1.5%.
Yeah, but that 1.5% would have probably crucial at this time when there's a split is only 1%. So if you had a 2.5% increase over the BJP,
would have been very different.
Would have been a different story.
So who's the villain? Is it Rahul Gandhi? Is it Bhupinder Hooda? Because Mr. Hooda today cannot claim that this was an election where he did not get the support of the Central High Command. The Central High Command had let it be completely an election campaign which was being run by Mr. Hooda. If he would have won it, he was a chief ministerial candidate. If he's lost it, he jolly well accept the fall for it.